Backseas Musical Podcast.
If you were to ask me what makes a great hit record, I don't even know if I could give you a good answer, at least not a concise one, because nearly every hit record is a combination of a lot of things: great timing, unbelievable luck, hard work, resilience, talent, and here's the hard part: having everybody involved with your career exceeding everybody's expectations. And oh yeah, the songs have to be pretty good too. Lucky breaks are often gamed by a combination of all those things coming together. So when an artist releases new music, you have to hope that all that stuff runs true. For example, 23-year-old Hawaiian native Tyke is the lead singer and songwriter for a Salt Lake City-based band called The Moss. The Moss have already released 2 albums. And later this week, Tyke and his band are releasing a brand new EP, which contains some of the best songs that they've ever recorded, including the EP's title track, Insomnia, which frankly is a fantastic song. If the name Tyke seems familiar to you, that might be because in 2018, Tyke was a contestant on The Voice. He reached number 12 before being eliminated from the show, but in the process, he struck up a good friendship with Adam Levine from Maroon 5. And after releasing a couple of solo records, Tyke formed The Moss. And here they are today, potentially facing the complete unknown, but facing it with a lot of confidence and a lot of momentum. And some pretty damn good music, too. This is my conversation with singer-songwriter Tyke from The Moss and The Voice on Backseas Musical Podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for doing this today. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, listen, I've had a chance to listen to every available track by The Moss on Spotify, and I listened to Kentucky Derby and Bryology, and I've really enjoyed it. But this EP that's coming out on the 20th, I think represents some of the strongest material you've done, especially Insomnia. What a great freaking song that is. I mean, it's probably the best song you've ever done. Tell me about that track and how, I mean, you must feel like you've progressed somewhat as a songwriter to put out a song that great.
Oh, well, thanks. That's really nice of you. Yeah, I mean, Insomnia is, I do feel like it's like kind of our strongest songwriting and instrumentally, and like we've kind of really found like a sound that we want to lean into. Kind of the way we've done things is we've never gone for something. We've never like been like, oh, let's try to make it sound like this. We kind of just like start playing. And I guess with this new EP, it's really sort of all come together where we do just start playing, but we have a sound that we are like trying to sound like we're kind of trying to sound like ourselves, if that makes sense.
It totally does. It sounds like, having listened to the stuff you've done before, I don't know. I mean, for me, I can tell when a band starts to suddenly find their footing, and they really do sound like it's a much more confident sound. Even the song, Blink as well, you definitely feel a sense of confidence that you guys are starting to really grasp. I'm sure you must feel that too.
Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate that.
I've noticed that Blink is another song where you can't sleep. Are you and the guys getting enough rest?
Oh, ever since I've been like an adult, I've just like had trouble sleeping, and it's like, dude, it kind of just like I have like really bad like ADD and like kind of anxiety that just kind of like keeps me up at night. Sometimes like I'll wake up at 3 and then just start doing stuff.
Right.
My girlfriend doesn't like that very much, but yeah.
So when you get to a point where you're just a few short days away from this EP coming out, and like you said, there's always anxiety and anticipation of that happening. What does that pre-release anticipation feel like for you? I mean, it's you've got the best song of your career about to come out. I mean, it's available on on streaming, but as far as an actual product, what must that feel like to say, okay, the biggest thing I've ever done is about to come out? What is that like?
To be completely honest, we've had these songs recorded for like almost 2 years now, and so I honestly just want to release them and just start working on them.
See,
That's kind of where I'm at right now.
because I would let every insecurity just be pouring right out of me right now. Because it's like you start playing mind games with yourself. Especially if you've been sitting on this for a long time.
Yeah, that's definitely how I feel right now. And before this project, I don't know, like releasing music has never super been an anxious thing for me to do. It's always just felt really natural. Like I just kind of want to finish a song and put it out, and that's kind of how we did things for the first couple of years.
Yeah.
We really just like would record them and then put them out. And with this, it's like with this long lag, it was like, yeah, I really got to get this out.
You guys are currently based in Salt Lake after coming over from Hawaii. Tell me about that. Of all places, why Utah and not say like Los Angeles or something like that?
So we actually didn't. So most of us grew up in Hawaii and met over in Oahu, and we just kind of migrated out here, or the other members of the band did, and then I was moving into a van when I was at 18. I got a van and renovated it and was moving over to the mainland, basically to just tour around and play music and kind of figure it out. And I ended up over here, and we all started playing together, and it ended up just being like so fun that I stayed. The music scene here is actually like very involved and very real and like hyperactive. Like I feel like the standard for bands out here is just high. Like everyone is just working so hard. All the local bands around here are just really killing. It's a pleasure to be part of such a cool scene.
I've known a few people from Hawaii, and they all seem to want to go back after a winter or two on the mainland. I'm sure Salt Lake is beautiful and the scene is great, but it's also 30 degrees warmer at home. You must at least miss the weather a bit.
Yeah, I miss Hawaii every day, but what can you do? It's hard. You can't tour around in Hawaii. It's like you can play on one side of the island and then play on the other, and that's about it.
I do want to go over your background a little bit here because I think it's you're pretty interesting. Most people are going to recognize you from the voice, and obviously we'll talk about that in a minute. But tell me about what you were doing before that experience happened.
So I actually dropped out of high school when I was in 10th grade, and I just started doing some online college classes. Actually, not very well. I'm really bad at online school, turns out. And my mom would like help me finish most of the assignments. But so that's kind of what I was doing before as far as school goes. But mainly just like surfing and playing music. I knew that I wanted to focus on music ever since I was like 14 or 15. And so I've always just since then just kind of been writing songs and just kind of pushing myself to.
You mentioned the limitation of playing music on the islands, and like you said, there's only a finite number of places that you can go in Hawaii to be in a band or even as a solo performer. But what was it that made you say, I want to go on? The voice is here. I want to go on that. What made you audition?
My mom actually. My mom is the reason I get a lot of things done in my life. But basically, she was like, I really want you to I really think you should do this. Like, I really think you should just try. You're doing this full time. Like, she kind of guided me through dropping out of school and starting to pursue music with more of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's the one who really pushed me to kind of go out of my comfort zone with things like The Voice. So yeah, she's the reason I went on The Voice.
I watched the video again of your first night on the show, and you freaking crushed it. And it's like, I don't know if people realize, first of all, singing live is challenging enough under those kinds of conditions where you're in a competition and at some point you're going to start competing head to head. Tell me about the stress of that moment. It's one thing to say I want to be in The Voice. It's another thing to actually be on it and then facing those judges. What is that like?
It was really nerve-wracking when performance day came, because we'd have to wake up like really early, and I like get really paranoid about my voice when I don't sleep well, because I like feel how it like affects my voice, I guess. So that's stressful. Obviously, going out and playing on TV is stressful. I don't. But honestly, the most nerve wracking thing was the day of the performance, because of the setup, where we were kind of just like in a hotel, like practicing just this song for like a month.
Wow.
So when the day came, it was like, oh, this is what like I spent the last month of my life. I don't know. It's very surreal and like nerve wracking and very just like hurry up and wait feeling. But
Do you find yourself getting, real competitive with these other singers? I mean, you're listening to them singing, oh, I can do better than that, or that guy's really good, or she stinks. I mean, do you get, that petty? I mean, how tense does it get between the performers?
I mean, I think like on in the competition, it was the energy around the space was like for wanting to work harder and just focus on good performances. But I don't know, like I like honestly went into the show feeling a little out of place, because I know they're just, as far as like voices go, there's just so many people who have like better voices than me, like of subjectively speaking.
Yeah.
And so like going to the show, I wasn't really like, I mean, even when I went to audition, I wasn't expecting to like that. My mom really pushed me. The fact that I didn't really feel like I fit in that well with the other people kind of helped me do well. I think like a big reason is just Adam Adam Levine was my coach on the show. I think he just liked the aspect that I kind of like playing band and like to sing like kind of rock music,
Right.
And I think that really is what helped me go far in the competition.
You struck up a pretty good relationship with Adam Levine, and I've heard before, other people who say that Adam has been just a good mentor, a good friend, a good guy to kind of guide you along and give you some perspective on not only how to advance in that competition, but even beyond that. Tell me about what Adam was able to give you. What did he provide to you beyond just the coaching for that competition?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this guy's like, I'm up against this guy. I honestly feel like his voice is better than mine, and he's like singing better than me. And he's like, just kind of he just told me like, just kind of stay in your lane and do your own thing and just don't worry about it. And that's kind of a concept that I've really taken to my.
There can only be one Tyke James, and no one's going to out Tyke James you. You are what you are.
Yeah, that's something everyone has on their side,
So after the show is over, and you go pretty far in it, top 12 is a pretty good place to go. After it's all over with, tell me about the timeline here. Was the band already together, or did the band come after the show?
So the full band came after the show. Me and Adam plays guitar in the Moss. We'd been best friends kind of since then, playing music together. We'd performed at like a sort of taco truck up there on Tuesdays, and that was kind of our main gig for a while before I went on the show. So yeah, me and him were playing together for a while before that, and then the full band sort of came together like quickly after The Voice. We'd met Willie, our drummer, in Hawaii as well. He went to school out there, and our bass player was Addison's brother, actually, and he had jammed with us a little bit growing up as well. Actually didn't even play the bass, just kind of bought one and started playing with us. That's how we kind of learned to play. But
so once you had the band together, I mean, were you still in contact with Adam? I mean, was he giving you still some pointers and some coaching, or was he not involved at that point?
Yeah, honestly, like I just feel like we're obviously on kind of on a different world. We'd chat, now and then. That's kind of the extent of it. We'd chat, and when he came to town, he'd come say what up and everything like that. So he stayed in touch, and he was really good to me.
So you don't still use that. You're not dropping Adam Levine's name everywhere you go and tell, hey, let me tell you who my best friend is.
No.
You're not doing that?
No, definitely.
Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people would.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I don't know about that.
This EP is getting released on the 20th, and it's interesting because this is not that far away in the future here. You guys are getting a lot of notice here. I mean, Pandora named you as an artist to watch in 2023. Clearly, there's some attention being shown your way, and you're about to go on tour, or the touring is about to begin. In the West Coast. When you see that all of this attention is being placed upon you, and it's not all about The Voice, it really is about this band. The anticipation with the other guys, how are they handling this? Because this is a pretty exciting, pivotal moment for you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. It's definitely gratifying to just be like, obviously it's nice to look at the numbers like paying off.
Yep.
But I don't know, like we're all just us in the band. They're just kind of my best friends, and we just kind of play music together. And to be completely honest, like nothing has super changed. Like it's obviously more professional now, but as far as how it feels to be in this band, hasn't changed much. We're still just doing our best and playing shows and having a good time trying to make music.
So that must be the best way to kind of balance all the expectations that are on you. I mean, you're talking about playing, with friends, and you're getting support from each other, and it's all kind of happening all at once to all of you. So I imagine that must be kind of a calming situation to know, hey, we're all going into this together, and all these expectations, we're handling this as a unit, as opposed to it's just me or just that guy or just half of us. It's more cohesive than that.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy. I'm not alone, and I have the other guys to lean on when things are getting stressful or whatever.
The band is gonna be touring. They're all West Coast dates so far. What happens after that? Are any plans to come out east or Midwest, or it's a small tour and that's it for now?
That is it for now, but we definitely want to get out to the East Coast. I've traveled out there a little bit, and I do love it. We recently did a little radio run over in the Chicago, Milwaukee area, and that was a really good time as well. That's not East Coast, but but yeah, I think the idea is to go as far away from home as we can and just play fun shows.
Now, what's going to happen after that? I mean, are you looking to start recording more music? I mean, you talked about Insomnia being almost 2 years old. I assume you've probably at least written a few songs since all of this. I mean, is a full length album in the works, or just one thing at a time here?
It's kind of up in the air right now, but I have loads of songs I've written. I have shown them all to the band yet. So, yeah, we are starting to work on the new songs, though. We've gotten 5 that we really like that we're starting to jam more and more. Maybe 10 more that we haven't even played yet. So, my goal is to put out a full album.
Well, like I said, Tyke, the Insomnia is a great, great song. Blink is awesome, too. I appreciate the time. I wish you guys all the best of luck in the world. I hope it does really well for all of you.
Hey, yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Best of luck, Tyke.
Thanks. Peace.
The name of the new EP from the Moss is Insomnia. It'll be available later this week wherever you find music. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like it, share it, tell all your friends about it. You can reach me at bax@rock102.com. I'd love to know what you think, and thanks again for listening to Baxy's Musical Podcast.